Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
How you doing, Chemda?
Great. How's it going?
I'm doing well. I just had a competitive sex.
What?
What kind do you have? You probably have casual sex. I'm competitive. I love today's guest, Chemda, and I'm very, very excited. He's on the Get Rich Nick podcast. He's with his buddy Nick Vatterott, who we talked to fairly recently, of course. We knew him for over a decade. He had a Flavor of the Month series that you can still hear in your Keith and the Girl VIP package called Gratuitous, where I believe he went around the city and did free shit and then reported on it.
Yes, and then realized that getting comedians to commit to two things rather than just the podcast was difficult.
So it was short-lived, yeah.
But it was a great podcast.
I happened to come across this Keith and the Girl clip when our guest was on before, the great Nick Turner. Speaking of food, you know the guy that wrote American Pie, Don McLean?
I don't know him.
Speaking of pies.
Bye Bye Miss American Pie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is it? It's a 2.5-hour song, right? Takes a while.
They were singing
Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, saying this'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die.
He beats his wife.
Oh!
Well, I'm not a fan, and I'm not familiar with his work.
Is that what you meant by pies and thighs?
Oh, God.
We're terrible people.
Oh, no, yeah, I don't talk about it.
Nick Turner, how you doing, Nick?
I'm doing really good. Sorry about the loud birds.
What an intro. Even I know he got me the first time. It was you and me singing, Nick, and we were having a beautiful time. And I'm like, wow, he's letting this go a little more, Keith. And he's letting us finish the whole thing. And then he dropped that. And I fell for it again. I'm like, he's playing this clip and it's going on a little bit.
But it's still, he's clearly playing it because our voices are so good.
Thank you.
You know what? It's like he gets there, he figures out the joke at the end. But I'm sure during the totality of the song, he's just letting it go.
I was enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah.
You know about Nick. You know about music, Nick. I follow Nick on Twitter. Of course, you can too. Nick's Turners. And he says, quite frankly, I don't understand the appeal of BTS, the pop group.
Oh,
he says, I barely want to fuck half of them. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
I didn't realize you were doing a tweet.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't. I mean, that's not where my talents lie. It's mostly singing and then being punked.
Being punked. The amount I love my 8-month-old reminds me every day that the perfect amount of free speech is no speech at all. Congrats, by the way. I don't know if I've said that to you in person.
Thank you. Because Elon is buying Twitter. Yes, I do think things are finally going to turn around.
They're finally going to turn her around.
But I have a baby, and I'm sorry to the world. But he's very cute.
Are you good at it? Some people say being a father's hard, but I have stepkids, and I'm like, only as hard as you want it to be.
No, I'm the same way. I have a wife that is so incredible at being a mom that I just have to do the other stuff. I have to walk around her picking stuff up.
Okay.
And then, you know how they say being a dad is it's mostly just showing up. It's like being a dad is 85% showing up. Well, guess what? I'm killing it. I live here.
Right.
I'm never gone. No road dates.
Is 8 months too young to say, is somebody the good guy and somebody's the bad guy? You or your wife?
Well, I didn't think we needed a baby to clarify that. But the roles have remained. Bad guy over here. Number one in the box office, though.
Right. What do you dream? Do you dream like a lot of shit?
I don't have any dreams, Keith.
Yeah, it all comes out alive.
I realized them all, and then I gave them up. You don't want to get your dreams. No, but I do make fun of people who tell me their dreams.
Sure. Well, of course. Nick wrote on Twitter, one time I lent my car to a friend for a week, and it got robbed, and he was way too chill about it. Didn't replace anything. Didn't even mention the robbery until I asked. He thought maybe I wouldn't notice a missing garage door opener.
Yeah. It wasn't, that tweet didn't read as funny as I wanted it to. But
Keith, can you do it again, please?
Yes.
It's a guy. Yeah, really.
He
thought maybe
he thought maybe I wouldn't notice a missing garage door opener.
Okay.
Give me a break. You know, sometimes I add bonus words when I read people's tweets. Give me a break.
Probably a past guest. I mean, who isn't really? I mean,
right. Sure.
I don't even have to know it. But he definitely is. And it was weird. We got home. He had replaced one thing because he needed it, which was the phone charger, like input.
Right.
The adapter
plug,
thing.
Right.
Yeah. And I had the most expensive one because I ride in style.
Sure.
And he bought the cheapest one. And I'll never get over it that he replaced that and didn't mention it.
How is he still your co-host? That's interesting.
Did I say co-host?
Did you?
No, I just said my friend.
Okay, that narrows it down. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Is it more offensive that there wasn't a follow-up when you tweeted this? That the guy doesn't even follow you. Thanks for the car. Fuck off.
Yeah, that was disappointing. But every tweet I tweet is disappointing. You know, maybe 8 tweets I've been like, oh wow, I did good. But the other ones I look at and I just think, oh, man, I wish Twitter had never existed.
And you still keep doing it.
I don't know why. I can't stop. You got to.
I feel like I have to, but if it went away and no one did it, they would please me.
If you don't do it, people think you're dead. If you do it badly, people think, oh, there he is.
Right. When I tweet, I'm just saying I'm safe.
Yes.
So my friends don't get nervous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet where, people they put a couple things up and then the handshake, meaning what do these have in common? And then, something below it. And you wrote Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, The Improv. All
Handshake.
booking Chris D'Elia in 2022. And you also tweet, how come when a comedian goes alt-right, all their jokes now have to be about that? You can't go anti-vax and still have observational jokes about food? All jokes are now about masks and jabs and Dr. Fauci, even though I have not seen that guy talk in 18 months.
Okay, but for real.
Yeah, I agree.
Why can't you talk about literally anything else? There's certain accounts that every day they're like, aren't masks dumb? I'm like, What are you talking about? No one's talking about that anymore.
Right.
And each tweet has like 1 million likes. You're like, oh, that's why you can't stop talking. Because if any of those people said one thing that wasn't just back into the echo chamber, people would be like, no, I'm reminded that you're terrible at this.
Right. What I find interesting, I almost said funny, but interesting, whenever
you don't laugh.
It's when the comedy.
It's too soon.
Right. When the comedian gets busted doing something, usually sexual, of course, and then they go to the side of the right. I see that a lot. Do you, and are you, what do you do when one of these comics that sickens you is performing at one of the places that you perform? Do you leave the green room? Like, it's got to be weird, right?
Well, luckily I am very vocal about my politics and about my dislike for people. And I'm no longer asked to do things
at all
from anybody. My wife especially. But she's here anyway.
I'll have to explain that.
No, it is funny. There's a Reddit thread I saw of a very divisive podcast that people don't like anymore, including myself. And there was a Reddit thread about them talking about how they had heard me talk shit about them, which is why I wasn't on anymore. This was like 8 years ago or whatever.
Okay.
But that's always been my badge of honor. I don't even need to say no because I can't keep my mouth shut in public. Good. And if somebody's fucking insane, I don't want to go on their show. But you guys, I make an exception.
Thank you, my friend. Nick wrote, just sucks because I used to really love Putin.
Yes.
So this whole thing really, I'm starting to know the real you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucked up until my lady Happy Valentine's Day in private. Nah, you gotta. No, of course not. For what? She knows she has a calendar.
No, I wouldn't have remembered. But every time someone posts their loved one on that person's birthday, I'm like, somebody's got a Google alert.
Yeah.
And what's the flex is posting it on a different day. Yesterday, I posted a gorgeous picture of my wife. What was yesterday?
Right.
Tuesday.
Nice.
And that makes me incredible. Like a great guy. Best guy.
I deliberately put pictures of Kyle up every day but Valentine's Day.
That's great flex.
Yeah.
That's too much work.
Nick wrote, it's automated.
Logistically, that's a
Automated. Same picture.
The job of a comedian isn't to make you feel safe. It's to get your Uber Eats order quickly and safely to your house.
Yeah. So when I was talking about my only successful tweets, that's it.
That's a good one.
That's the only one.
So we just did the hits.
Well, no, I mean that one specifically. All the other ones you read were trash, but this one was my one viral tweet.
It's time for a new album, Nick. Am I wrong? Your album.
No, you and my
Yelling
2-year-old
is
contract.
So good. Your Yelling album is so fucking good.
That's very
and
nice.
I'm gonna need more. It's been about a decade now.
It has been too long. But I have had a contract for a new album for 2 years. And the pandemic and fatherhood has gotten in the way of me doing stand-up to the point where I think, wow, I'm ready.
Right.
I did record a special in October, and I just got that footage, and
Okay.
I can't wait to see it. But things are coming, and I agree, you're right. And the people who else, the other people who signed that contract certainly want me to, but not because they think I'm funny.
Well, it sounds like we're about to. I mean, they don't need to think you're funny, right?
No, I'm just kidding. I just feel bad.
But it sounds like we're about to get something, right? If
you are about to get something, yeah. You just got to hold tight, Keith. Can you hold tight?
I'm trying. Let me repeat some things from the other album, then, if I may. I like that you were talking about. I guess it was your wife to be, and you visited their family, and one of the tricks you do, and I wish I knew about this one. Act like you keep getting caught in different rooms reading the Bible.
Yeah, you carry an oversized Bible, and you sit mostly in the corner. Maybe the lights are off.
Right.
She comes in, turns the light off. You go, oh my God, I've been reading so long. It was light out, I just love the book so much. What's the joke? Where does it go?
I never got to. You're like, I would have put it in this album.
It's not a new joke. Yeah. Anyway.
When I were you ever nervous seeing the in-laws?
Oh no.
Right.
Why would I be? I'm not dating someone who I don't think likes me or something.
Right.
I don't.
The parents don't. The parents are gonna say, "Hey, you guys have to break up. I don't trust this guy." And she goes, "Okay, yeah, who gives a fuck? Just pretend to take the dishes to the kitchen." Who gives a shit? It's easy.
I did. There was one set of parents I did not get along with.
Yeah,
and it's always so funny to me. I got in a fight with they're terrible, and so is their daughter.
What didn't they like about you?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even that way. They're just terrible. I
didn't
like
them. Okay,
no.
That's different.
Oh yeah, no, they're just children. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you see people, and you're like, I hope they never have kids. And imagine if two of them did together.
And then you're dating that.
Right.
Yes.
That they made.
And then we do the thing that could have kids. And
Yeah. Oops.
Oh, wow. I really got in there, didn't I? That was close.
What about this idea? You go, you meet the in-laws. You make them nervous. Bring out a little list of questions and act like you care about the answer and write down scribbles in your notebook and be like, you know what? I like it.
Yeah, I'll be like, so what's your 5-year plan?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to die? We got to get you in school.
And of course, I love when Nick talks about hanging out with the significant other of somebody. It's like, oh, so, I'm hanging out with my buddy, then the significant other comes over, and I got to tell you, it's never better.
No, I didn't invite you to Wings.
Right?
I invited the fun one. But there's certain couples you can't separate, and you either get one or the other. And I've abandoned all of those relationships.
He says to his friends, you know what? I wondered what you'd be like if all your opinions suddenly changed.
Oh.
Do you ever have to tell your wife, hey, this, like, obviously she knows what you do and she finds it attractive, but does a joke ever rub her the wrong way? I could see something in this album being like, I'm going to have to say to my girlfriend, I'm being silly.
No, but the thing that I filmed in October, I have a joke about walking in on my parents having sex. And the joke is like, I walked in or when I was 14, I walked in on my parents having sex, and actually it was pretty vanilla. I was like really disappointed. So I left.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing left to see. I put my cigarette out and I went to bed. But so my parents happened to be in town when I was filming this thing. And so I had them come, and like I set it up, I mic'd their table, we had them lit, and then
wow.
I did it in front of them. Of course, I only did it in front of my mom because my dad got in a fight out front about COVID testing.
Oh, goddamn.
He's not a COVID weirdo. He just doesn't like to fill out forms.
Of his son's show. This is your show.
Yeah, well, I didn't love it, Keith. But that's not...
I wasn't picking up the tone.
That's not the point of this hilarious story that doesn't go too deep into my trauma. Anyway, they came. I did it just for my mom. And I got to add another few minutes of hilarious banter talking about my dad. But I did it, yes. So I did it in front of them. And actually, I just got this tape and I have not seen it. And I cannot wait. No.
So you don't know if your mom said anything while she was mic'd because she was just saying it into a mic, right? Like you might be hearing comments or...
No, it was not a secret. Like I told her that I was going to talk to her. And
so the mic turned on when you were talking to her.
No, her table her table was mic'd for sound for the recording, but I could hear her very, very well.
The whole time?
I was talking to her. I set it up with the audience for my mom. It wasn't a surprise.
I'm just thinking like if you put a mic in front of someone and some time goes by, they forget and you might hear some stuff.
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought about that.
I think you're going to hear some stuff. I'm not saying bad or good or whatever, but it might be like, oh, mom.
Well,
absolutely. Do you know that true story? We've never closed the Zoom meeting in our lives.
Never
fucking half the show is behind the scenes, but we give it to you. Yeah,
that's very funny. Yeah, Zoom really has done some awful things. But Chemda, that's a good thought. But I got the edited version, and so I would not hear that, but I do want to ask about it.
You can, if you ask for the raw file and you put it into like something like Audacity, you can actually just look through the lines. You don't have to listen to the whole thing because you'll see when people talk. It's kind of like somebody butt dialing you, but a lot nicer and more consensual.
And if only my dad had been there, they might have whispered to each other. But I don't know who she would be talking to, unless I'm that bad that she's just talking to herself about how shitty I am.
But that could be good. No, it could be like, that's my Nikki.
Oh, he's so funny. I don't even care that he did a sex joke about his mom in front of her.
Like you might hear an oh dear when she hears that. You know what I mean? Like
that's
I
funny.
wonder.
That would be funny.
But it could break your spirit. Like, is he like Andy Kaufman? Like, what's he doing? That'd be horrible, right?
Yeah.
Was your dad standing outside the entire time?
Yeah, he always brings a book somewhere in case he gets angry and leaves. That kind of movie, it's like I don't expect he's going to be there the whole time. Not always because he leaves, but because if he stays, he'll fall asleep.
Mm.
Do you still have the dog that you had during your album?
Of course.
Nice. How old now?
Oh my God, I'm gonna be 34.
Oh my God, that's up there.
He is about 10.
Okay.
10ish, yeah.
Nick goes, people say to my dog, like, is it a boy or a girl? And Nick goes, why? You
what are your-
weirdo.
Thank
Why?
you.
What are your plans?
But I even think like, is your child a boy or a girl? Like, are you going to talk to them
100%,
differently? Like, what's going to happen? Don't worry about their parts. Like, are you just picturing it? What is this question?
You know what's funny? I wrote that joke about my baby also, and then realized that I had written it about my dog.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
I guess thought I couldn't do it. But it works if you just change. Like, yeah, like the first question people always have, like, oh, is it a boy or a girl? Because that when you get pregnant, you know, they're like, oh, is it a boy or a girl? And you're like, who cares, lady at the bank?
Right.
What does it matter? I don't know you. But then I'd like to think like, I'll be like, boy, and leave. And then she pulls out a notebook and she's got a pen and she's like, one boy. And that's it. And then goes to her car and dies. I was like, well, oh, I see. She needed one more boy in the world before she could be at peace.
I think we just don't have a question for pregnant women, and we want to. It's like seeing a celebrity in public and you just yell the name of the show they're on, like Sopranos, you know, but it's really like an actual human being. I think we just are like, you're pregnant. That is special. I want to touch it. I'm not allowed. So I'll ask a weird question. I think we need to interrupt that process and get like new questions like, oh, how's your pregnancy going? But also you don't want to ask that because I don't know you. And then you realize maybe I'm just going to mind my business. And unless her water breaks, and even when it does, I don't need to do anything.
Yeah, it does feel like a very old, antique question to ask, because I think with that question, you're implying like, oh, what type of life is it going to have?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it going to have a boy life with jobs? Or is it going to have a girl life with trying to get a man until she's 20 and then give it up? You're like, things have happened, Grandma.
I had a small dog, and people would go, oh, is it a puppy? And be like, oh, 2 years old. And, oh, but could still be a puppy, right? And I go, yeah, it's a puppy. Like, they got excited at the word puppy.
Well,
I can only love your dog if it's a puppy.
All dogs are puppies.
Well, now I'll be able to say yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm reading here. Let's see. Here's some news. Megan Fox said in a new interview that she and fiance Machine Gun Kelly drink each other's blood, quote, for ritual purposes.
This is my favorite place that we've gotten to in society, where people have to throw you a bone if they think you like eat blood and fuck blood or whatever they think you do.
Whatever you do with it.
You know, it's like, you can't say you don't, even though you're like, no, what am I, just staining every sheet I have? No. This isn't enjoyable. I'm the hottest woman on earth.
Right.
And he, I guess, is the skinniest guy on earth. And we have no problem getting hard for each other. Right. Oh, but the blood part, you pour blood everywhere, right? Yeah, whatever. Oh, in a ritual, you weirdo. Can I be in the new Transformers now?
It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. There is something though. When I hear like a couple shares blood, I'm like, you know, that's wild sex. You don't have your vanilla sex and you're drinking blood. When I was a kid, we had supposedly a satanic church was like over this hill far away, and I always thought like, I'm gonna sneak in, see what happens, and I bet they're just cutting and fucking and cutting.
Oh yeah,
that sounds. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
By the way, what was the question where this was the answer?
How's your house going? How's your family going? It's like, we do blood, but only for rituals.
Like, I thought maybe it was like,
are you celebrating Seda?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, how's your Shabbos? And then it's like, we drank each other's blood. It's like, no, I think it's supposed to symbolize blood, but it's wine. Hello.
Right.
Seder is a dinner at Passover. You can't celebrate Seder.
You keep Seder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you throw a Seder.
You actually did, yeah.
Speaking of blood, I saw the movie Hostel finally. That was the only movie that I was missing in my collection.
Did it make you feel that way?
Hostel. Actually, I didn't mind it. It's
Ooh,
obviously it's
high
very
praise.
cheaply done. Eli Roth, very cheaply done. And he said, I looked up, that it was based on a real article he saw where people went to a hostel and those people convinced them to go to a different party. The different party was a warehouse where they kill you. People get paid. They pay money to kill somebody. Americans $25,000 in this movie. A local $5,000 foreigner that's not an American. This was like in Slovakia. A foreigner that wasn't American, $10,000. And he says it seemed real. He was sent a link. This happened to be based in Thailand. He claimed that for $10,000, customers could commit acts of murder. The site claimed that the person you were killing had signed up for it, and that part of the money would go to their family because they were so broke and they were going to die anyway. It was it's to give you the thrill of a kill. Is it bullshit? Is this real? It looked real to me, he said, the director.
Now, who wants this? Right? Like,
you don't. I like the idea, but I saw parts 1, 2, and 3. A lot of screaming. Very annoying when you're just trying to get a fucking thrill.
Yeah, this is obviously bullshit because everybody knows the movie Hostel is an allegory for going out of town to do a stand-up weekend.
I see.
Because when you go out of town, you don't have a car. And if somebody asks you to come to a party, you do not go. Do not go to that party because it'll be worse than death. You won't have a ride home. And no one
what
is
happens
cool
at
to
this
talk to.
party? Is there blood drinking or is that way more fun than
This
what happens?
party is 5 guys.
Oh,
They
burgers.
said, yeah, we're going to have a party. No burgers. No food at these parties. These parties, you have the beer you brought. And if you didn't bring any beer, then sorry, you're going to have to be really nice to everybody.
Do you feel like you have to be on, or can you enjoy yourself if you're silly enough to go to one of these parties? Have you really done it? And then
I'm lucky to always be on.
Okay. Okay. Luckily, I don't know the real me, and everybody's happy.
I forgot. Doesn't matter anymore. His old life is done.
Have you ever done therapy? Did a therapist ever have to say, "Hey, Nick, where you at?"
No, but I've been recommended a lot. My algorithms have changed. But I'd like to go. I guess it's time. You know, you think like, oh, you're good. You don't have any diagnosable mental illness. And then you realize, oh, adulthood is just
A mental illness.
it's just crushing you constantly. And there's no way you didn't get broken a little bit.
Right.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that's
really
a new
matter who you are.
tagline.
That's time to go.
That's a new tagline for BetterHelp. Isn't
Well, yeah.
adulting traumatizing enough? BetterHelp.com/KATG.
For sure. Because its current one is what? We still haven't fixed Michael Phelps. Okay, that didn't hit.
I didn't. I know
Do
it's
you
my
guys
fault.
know what that means?
No.
He's the spokesperson. And he's been the spokesperson, if not for Better Health, then for another one.
Okay.
For like 8 years. And it's funny to say, I
Right.
still got to get some more help.
Do me a favor, audience.
Yeah.
Info@keithandthegirl.com. Did you get it?
Okay, good.
Let me
Yeah,
know.
I want to
Let me
hear
know.
this.
Okay.
But also, if they
He's
do,
saying in 8 years you should be fixed, even though that's not how therapy works. But he
well,
doesn't
no,
know.
that's
He hasn't
no,
been.
you can't explain it because then I'm an
sorry,
ableist
I'm sorry.
monster. You're supposed to laugh and then move on, and then anyone who tweets about it, block them. But if somebody tweets at you and says, "I did get it, I did laugh," please ask them to send in their laughter
Oh, I see. Okay.
and put it in here, or just send it to me because I
Just
need it.
to send the laughter to give us the idea of what happened at the moment.
What would have been happening?
You can
If
laugh at
you
Three
could.
Stooges or something. Yeah.
If you can go on Twitter and find Nick Turner and then everything
it's
and then just go through his Twitter, like maybe the last 10, let's say, and everyone that you got, click like and then comment, "I get it!" ! If you could just do that on his timeline.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will Smith is on a supposed spiritual tour of India. Oh, God, he's going to kill a person.
No, it's Eat, Pray, Love.
No, he's right. That's why you go to India. It's harder to get caught.
Oh, Okay.
He still hasn't personally apologized or reached out to Chris Rock. Okay, he's thinking. He's got to do some yoga and meditation before he does it personally. Yeah.
He may just be getting away from the marriage.
Right. His journey is part of his vow to do, quote, the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason. Regular Mike Tyson over here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, fingers crossed.
I wish I could do some work that started with a $8,000 first class plane ticket.
That's the thing. Yeah. If
Right.
like if after every trauma, like you break up with someone, you have to move out, whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just I got 8 days at this spa.
Mhm.
Then I can be a better person. And wouldn't you want me to be a better person for this next thing that we're doing?
Yeah. And also, I don't know anyone else who, as soon as they start something new, they're like, guys, I want to tell everyone what I'm up to.
Right.
It's my first day of rehab, and I am over the moon about it. No, you're like, hey, I've been sober for 8 months. I wanted to tell you guys about my journey.
Right.
It's
Absolutely
publicity.
Right. Yeah, have an ending. You got to write the ending. I saw the movie The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Oh boy.
And I knew that it would make me judge Nicolas Cage as a person. And that's very important to me, to figure out if I would like these celebrities as real regular people. And
Can you explain why? Because the movie is
Sure.
very specifically him being himself, but tongue in
he
cheek,
plays
right?
himself, so I'm like, are you going to make fun of, the Wicker Man? Are you going to understand that while you are great, you overact a lot of times. You really do eat my TV screen up.
And you're
you
a
know?
little spendy.
Yeah, and something's going on with drinking. Something's going on with you're buying.
Hey, he won an Oscar
dinosaurs.
for drinking.
Yeah, right. That's not going to teach him nothing. I had a VIP show that was going well where me and the guests get drunk. Well, that's not going to tell me I'm an alcoholic. Yeah, Nick was there. He died.
Literally, it was the drunkest night of my life.
Right.
And I blacked out. Second time in my life.
Nick might have been the last one. I don't remember. I don't know.
And then Lyra kept telling me, this is like Lyra's favorite story because I came home and I was genuinely, she was like, what? Or CNN was on. And I was genuinely concerned for Van Jones. And I was just worried about Van Jones. And I was like really hoping Van Jones was okay. And that's what I do when I get blacked out.
You get concerned.
At my base, I just worry about CNN.
Oh.
Well, one guest came home. They lost a shoe. Another guest said that he was fighting with a cab driver. Casey James Salango started yelling through the streets, "I'm Ric Flair!" It's like, all right,
Well,
let's put an end to this. Yeah, but he seemed extra into it. So yeah, I'm curious. Hey, will Nicolas Cage? He didn't rate it, of course, but it comes down to him if he okays jokes or not, and will he shit on himself properly? He doesn't.
Well, what does it end up being? Because if you're not laughing at yourself, doesn't it turn into a big ego fest? Where else can it turn? I mean, I don't know. I'm really asking.
He would, so he's with the main guy, this guy that hires him for his company, like a mob boss, $1 million, stay with me for the weekend. And he goes, oh, look, he has all these props from the movies. Like, oh, that's from Face Off. Yeah, that was a good one. Okay, that's the Poison from The Rock. He's like, yeah, that was a classic. Like, okay, I'm waiting for, there's no fucking punchline to this segment, And he brought up this movie fairly recently. I think it's a horror movie called Mandy. And he goes, that's from Mandy. Like, oh, you have that? Yeah, Mandy's a masterpiece. Yeah, it is.
So this is
okay.
It's the worst episode of Cribs.
Yes. Yes. It was and then he at the end he had a belt buckle. It had a tarantula on it, and somebody goes, "Oh, tarantula on your belt. You're eclectic." And he goes, "Yeah, I somebody designed it first with a bee." And I'm like, "Not the bees, not the bees." And I'm like, "Okay, that's your big laughter about that movie Wicker Man. That's blue balls. That's how you winked at it. It upset me, and I'm upset with him right now."
This is the most successful bad review I've ever heard. I hate this movie.
And then they try to get meta where the two people keep talking to each other, but they're really talking about the movie they're in. like, yeah, we're gonna make a movie, and I don't want it to be a comedy. I don't really like comedies. Well, we're watching a comedy, obviously, and I don't want just two people talking back and forth. That'll get redundant. I'm like, but you are, and I get it.
So then, is there a scene where they go to a restaurant and the waiter's like, "Hey, you're Nick Cage. You're a Coppola, but you didn't use their name to get places. You got here on your talent alone, and the fact that you're a Coppola is redundant. And we shouldn't even think about that."
Right.
And he's like, "Yeah."
He had to run and steal a car. His friend. So the friend says, Nicolas Cage, for whatever reason, you have to drive. And he goes, "Oh, I'm not good at driving in tense situations." And he goes, "But in Gone in 60 Seconds, you did your own stunts." And Nicolas Cage goes, "That's true." Gets in the car and drives.
That's true.
That's true. He goes, "True. So I'll drive." Wouldn't it be funnier if Nick Cage said, "Yeah, I might have lied about that," and then drive anyway, just the same? You're not shitting on yourself at all, and it was a bummer.
Oh boy,
It affected
that sounds
my
horrible.
life. Yes, I liked Hostel better. God damn it!
Hostel is a good movie.
They're cutting people up. What weapon do they want to use?
Yeah.
It's always a drill. It's always a drill.
Well, 2 and 3 are not Eli Roth. You don't need to watch those.
2 is.
Actually,
two is Eli Roth.
2
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah. The third one, he's like, you know what? Who cares? I'm friends with Quentin Tarantino now. Someone else can make it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm done making movies.
But movies like Hostel, whenever it starts, they really try. I couldn't tell if the movie was just out of date or if they're trying to make you not care if these people die. But there's 3 dudes overseas, and they just use the F word for gay. Everything's gay, gay this, gay that. It has nothing to do with anything. Oh, there's subtitles? There's not subtitles in a movie in this Hostel? How am I supposed to watch that? It's gay. They never cut back to it. They don't allude to it. And I'm like,
Wait, did you say Quentin Tarantino?
Quentin Tarantino produced it. Eli Roth directed it.
Oh, because didn't you mention that Tarantino puts like whatever bad word?
He likes the N word a lot. And I think now, tell me if I'm wrong, Nick, do you think now Tarantino's doing it out of spite?
I mean, 100%. He's doing it because he thinks like
We should get over
he's
ourselves.
black. Like he's like, actually, I'm one of the 5 people in the world. It's me, Neil Brennan, whatever. We get to say we're black and do it, say whatever we want. Louis C.K. But I bet that it's because Quentin Tarantino took the N-word that Eli Roth used the F-word, because he's like, I want to say whatever the next most offensive thing is,
Right.
1 million times as like an homage to my favorite film.
Eli Roth walked so that Quentin Tarantino could run.
Yeah. Wait, I think it's the other way around, but Quentin Tarantino whispered the N-word so Eli Roth could yell the F-word.
Right. Nicolas Cage's wife is pregnant right now. He has 4
Get
boys.
your puke button.
Right.
Get your puke
Get your puke bucket ready. Anyway, he has 4 boys. In this movie, he has a daughter. That's just funny to me. and here's the puke bucket part that she's talking about. He's 58 years old. His pregnant wife is 27. Now, in this movie, the wife is age appropriate. That's funny to me, too. First of all, that describes your personality a lot. Like, that should be in there and have 5 quick jokes that defend it if you want. But, no, the wife, she's an actress. And so she's like, okay, so I'll be your wife. No. Nowadays, they don't get the age difference thing in Hollywood. Yeah. So I have to pretend I'm with a ugly old dog.
So how old was that person? 37?
She seemed the same. She seemed the same, if not older, to me.
What were you saying, Nick?
The fake daughter, is the same age as his real wife. That's
every Best Actor Oscar you win takes off 20 years.
Oh, that's probably math. That's probably Hollywood math.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Divided by 7.
27. There's a 30-year age gap between them. She's not even 30. You weren't even born yet. Ugh.
Yeah. You're over double the age.
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like y'all's jealous.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
You
it.
know why he probably picked her? Because she's younger and hotter.
Mm.
Did you ever think about that?
Well, you know what? The movie could have explained it. Instead, they made up an older woman. They made up a daughter.
Also, 60-year-old women don't give birth.
Yeah, maybe he needs
Mhm.
to stop. He's 50 fucking 8.
They don't give birth.
That's
Like, you
part
should
of-
marry somebody your age. Like, they don't give birth easily, though. He was
Yeah.
in 4 marriages with 3 kids before he was 30 years old.
Wow.
He loves love.
He loves to love.
Does not love the human beings, but
But the feeling,
Mhm.
delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
Maybe
And
he
this-
just loves to love people under 30. So once he turned
Right.
30, it's like, what can I do now?
Right. Chemda's going to the movies tomorrow, and this is very exciting for all of us, I think. When's the last time you were at a movie, Chemda?
I don't remember. I think
Yeah.
we joined you for that. What's her face who got in trouble with the holding Donald Trump's head?
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin?
Yeah.
I think that was the last one.
What was that?
Tomorrow's our anniversary.
It was
Mine
a
is
stand-up
anniversary.
comedy show.
Oh,
Yeah, it was sort of documenting what her life was like after that incident.
She washes her own clothes in her hotel room. Fascinating stuff. So so tomorrow you're going to see everything all the time, all over the place, happening now. Here we go. You're going to see that.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
You going to bring a snack?
I'm going to buy popcorn. It's our
Fuck yeah.
anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, half the reason I want to go to the movie theater, maybe most of it, is the popcorn. I have a
Right.
couch. I have somewhere to sit. This screen is big enough. It's perfectly fine. I'm good on my laptop, but we have an even bigger screen, if you can believe that.
you gonna drink in there?
I'm going to get a Diet Coke. Although
Okay.
I might sneak a can because that watered down shit really bothers me.
Yeah, go
So,
fresh, go real. Yeah.
But no booze.
I'm not a booze person, but we will definitely be bringing the marijuana edibles. Got some
Yeah.
edibles supply for tomorrow. So maybe
Nick-
maybe we'll be everywhere everything all the time after taking them.
Is this true, Nick, that you would go to bars and you would put booze in like a water bottle or that kind of thing and
Here's the
sneak
thing.
vodka while you're by a regular beer here and there?
Everybody is a chump, Keith,
Yeah.
but me.
I hear you.
I don't do anything where someone else wins, Keith.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, no, it's the best advice I can give to someone broken in their 20s is to cut out that bartender.
That middleman.
Well, no, it's like, it's not, if you can't go or whatever, it's like, don't worry about it. Also, another good technique, you don't need to be as prepared as I did or as I was, but you go to the bar, you see what kind of beers they have. Then you go to the bodega and put a couple in your pocket. You bring them in. You're like, yes,
Wow.
I also have a Heineken.
I did not think of that.
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't drink, but like, wow. Okay. That's
I
like
did that when I
bringing
first-
Chinese food to the Chinese place. You don't have these dumplings.
Okay, it's a different strategy, I guess.
I remember
I'm
being
trying
at
to compare.
Dangerfields, the comedy club, when I first came to New York, and I'd buy a 6-pack of Budweiser, order one Budweiser, and just keep changing them out in the bag below me.
So all alcoholics already thought of this.
Right. They're closed now, by the way.
But now
has
the
your-
movie
has your-
theaters, they all just sell drinks. Like
Oh,
everyone I go
cans?
to. You buy martini. Like
Oh,
it's
oh,
just
wow.
they're really trying to lure people back.
Well, I
Right.
want to support movies, like I don't know. So I want to get the soda there, but if you're
Mhm.
gonna, if you're gonna
bring
give
a
me
can.
garbage, if you're
Yeah.
gonna give me a subpar situation,
Yeah, well, it's you have to give me a product that's worth paying for. And if you don't, I'm gonna find a way. And if you fail, look, I'm sorry. My TV is gigantic.
Right?
Xerxes
yeah.
keeps reminding me our TV is not big. I'm like, look at it. He's like, you're comparing it to when you were like 10. I'm like, but
Yeah. I remember shopping for TVs going, you know what? I'm going to get a flat screen. I didn't know there were options.
yeah.
That's how long it takes me to glow up. Nick, what do you want people to know? I want them to know about your album Yelling. I think it's
For
very
sure.
funny. Check that out and follow him on social media under Nick's Turners.
Yeah.
With S's.
Yeah, listen to Get Rich Nick.
Yes.
Their podcast there. I'm getting into eBay. We're doing eMay.
Hmm.
Are you?
Explain. No, I'm not familiar.
Now you understand eBay, right?
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Now, have you heard of the month of May?
Yeah, I have.
Now, if a man talks about eBay for the whole month of May, That's eBay, my man.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you get it now?
Yeah, it's right. So it's eBay,
Okay, good.
and May's coming.
Yeah, I got some hot items. I bought an Anthony Bourdain cookbook off a thrift website.
Okay.
Cost me $10.
Nice.
And it came and it had a signature to a woman that I assume recently died.
Okay,
And
because
then someone just sold a bulk, her books to this one store because they didn't open it and look and find out that there was an Anthony Bourdain signature in it. I looked that up on eBay. Apparently, you can get like maybe $800 for something like that.
really,
But I don't think I can get as much because mine is signed to Maureen. So it pretty much just comes down to
Looking for the right Maureen.
finding a Maureen
it has $800.
a good wallet.
Their
But,
next episode is going to be calling all Maureens, and then people will think that's funny, like calling all morons. Listen to this show. Like, it'll be a whole thing if we know you guys. I mean, last time Nick, the other Nick Vatterott was on, he was talking about making money with
Tab soda.
Tab, but he was drinking up all the inventory.
Yeah.
So
He thought it was going to go out of stock.
No, I have one 12-pack left. We got some Tab, and then we made a viral video. And it went viral, mega viral. But we were not able to increase the price of Tab with it. So I do have some extra. Nick did drink all of his, which I am flabbergasted every day because
have you guys met?
a 12-pack was like $25.
Jeez.
But he's just like, it's good, man. It's more than beer. Yes.
He's wrong. It's not good. It's not good. But you can take all his empty cans and maybe do something cute and go like open tabs, and it'll be like, is that internet or is that?
Yeah, well, you might have to check out our viral video because it is along those lines. It is a tab pun for the.
All right, I will.
Tabs.
I started watching a bunch of your videos on YouTube before, so I'm just gonna have to continue that after we stop recording.
Yeah,
so fucking fun. Look Nick
guys.
Turner up for real. It's so fun.
That's right. That's it. Click like on whatever platform you're on right now. Do us that favor, and thank you very much for supporting the show. Nick, thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys. I love you very much, and I hope to see you soon.